The Imperial Complex. You stumble upon a vibrant room, decorated portraits of detailed lineage, sprawling back to the beginning of time. Sitting upon the throne in the back, adorned with jewels of fallen, slain, and deceived nations that ultimately fell to the prowess, a scrawny boy glares at you from across the room. Despite your sword in hand, you feel a power from his glare, the power of tyranny that was inherited time and time again. Father to son, the monarchy keeping its grabby claws upon the nepotistic child who believes from his upbringing that he is destined to rule you. Yes, his ancestral grandfather saved his people from slavery, stomped out tyranny, and rose to the Lord Protector. But now he has grown so far apart that he has forgotten the sacred rules of honor, sacrifice, and empathy. Now all the nepotistic parasite sees is gluttony, greed, and fear. Fear that his people will see him as his ancestors saw the slavers. Fear that his ill-gotten gains will cause yet another revolution. They'll keep his greasy maw empty, his desire for all things hungry, his head without the mighty crown in which he believes keeps him alive in this world that is his. Why do people think of this? You say as you glare at the pommel of your blade, the silver sword of truth. Years of power without oversight has given a good view a terrible lineage. They no longer see the main reason for their heavy arse upon the throne. They instead see themselves as your shepherd, letting you grow hungry with a few instead of being happy with what you need. Basic human rights? You're not human to them. You don't need those. You live in the greatest nation in the world, he says as the mothers fall ill in child-rearing, begging for basic surgeries that even animals are allowed. But what about the fetus? No, what about the sanctity of nature? They scoff at this remark, and there's no actual rebuttal, but they understand that it's because they don't care about you. They don't care about women. They don't care about the sacred womb of nature anymore. They only care about control. The best nation in the world does not have needy on the streets. Your war heroes starving from your imperial conquest left to rot on the streets, as if you actually cared about them and your power. You never cared. You cared for oil reserves you filled behind you, the sweatshops you keep full, the laborers you pay pennies to. You speak up to the scrawny boy upon the seat. What greatness have you brought us? He stumbles upon his words. The people wanted this. The people demanded. The people shut up, you roar. The blade drawing you with its ravenous hunger. What good has your demands done for your people? During the first years of the Empire, you remember celebrations of life, people coming together in unity, freedom, love, equality. Those who fled tyranny, much like yourself. You remember those of different shades, those of different faiths, those who fled out of fear and come without warrant, still ready to sacrifice everything to fight for freedom. But now this king demands only his people line up. No more freedom, no more hungry, and no more scared. We no longer are the breakers of chains. We are the chain wielders. We are those who make mothers weep. We are those the Queen of Sovereignty demands that are foul to her. But what do we do? Do we revolt? Peace of the way, is it not? Do we live in these shacks barely spared by those who support this rule? Why aren't we allowed our own castle? Why can't even families have a roof to call their citadel? Why must we fear freezing on the streets so those who support you can have a third yacht and name it mansion? No. Peaceful means only work against sane opposition. You bring up the silver sword of truth. You look down at him as fear finally goes upon his nepotistic face, and you tell him, I am sorry you were led astray. I will give you this one chance to beg for your life, but you must rescind who you are. He laughs at you. I am your ruler. I don't care what you think as the sword comes down. and the people stormed the palace. The guards who swore fealty, seeing that their oath to the people was a lie, and that it was an oath to chains. A warrior does not fight for chains. A warrior fights for freedom, equality, and sovereignty. Become a warrior with me today. Join the Fox Den.